those who believe that animation and cartoons are just for children, you cannot be more wrong.
Granted, there are some titles that can be considered cartoons made for children, but to just downgrade the world of animation to just mere child's play is just flat out arrogant.
Animators should just be held on a pedestal because it's obvious to know that animating is never easy. It takes a lot of time and skill and effort to bring moving art to life. Disney is not just for children, DreamWorks is not just for children, and above all, Laika Studios is not just for children.
It's safe to say that anything made by Laika Studios is pure gold. They take the most risk and put in tremendous effort into everything they do. With their wonderful characters and fantastic set designs, Laika is a force to be reckoned with against all the other major studios. From Coraline to Box Trolls, each movie they've done have reached our hearts and have definitely earned their Oscar nominations.
And then I hear about this new movie that they did and how it's better than the other three. That is saying a lot! So are the allegations true? Holy hell, this has to be the best movie I've seen all year. I'm not exaggerating. Like, wow.
Kubo and the Two Strings. The story of a young boy who can never step foot outside after dark. Due to one fateful mistake, he is then thrown onto a dangerous journey to find a mystical set of armor before his malevolent aunts and terrifying grandfather get their hands on him. Protecting him on his journey is a skillful snow monkey and a deformed samurai beetle.
This original story, written by Mark Hames, Chris Butler, and Shannon Tyndall, has critics all around praising this masterpiece for its creativity and originality. Everything about this movie just felt completely natural, no forced humor, no modern references, and every single character, especially the villains, were likable. There's like not one character that I hated in this movie, thank you!
You have a young boy named Kubo, who actually acts like a natural young boy. He does everything he can to protect his mother, but that doesn't mean he has to be perfect. He's young, scared, and frustrated over his situation. He wants to have fun and live a little, so of course he's going to make mistakes along the way. He behaves like every child character should, and he was amazingly voiced by Game of Thrones' Art Parkinson. His accent sometimes pops up, but it didn't really bother me.
Charlize Theron voices the monkey, and if I say way too much about the character, I will spoil everything. So I'm gonna do my best not to spoil this.
I respect characters like Monkey, especially in a time where we're forced to endure wacky side characters with one-liners. Monkey is far from that. Right from the get-go, she tells Kubo everything he has to do to protect himself from his grandfather and proves just how serious and determined she is to protect Kubo no matter what. She's fierce and doesn't take anyone's crap, but she does show her sentimental side from time to time. I am trying so hard not to spoil more for this character, so I'll just stop here. The beetle samurai appears out of nowhere, but vows to protect Kubo the second he realized he is the son of his former master. I like to say this is one of my favorite roles Matthew McConaughey has ever done. He's a humorous yet tragic character at the same time. He's full of hope and delight as he struggles to remember who he is and how he became a beetle. He's played off as his goofy character, but at least the writers didn't push his jokes in your face.
Is this a subtly done funny character? They actually exist!
Kubo's aunts were both voiced by Rooney Mara. Some would say having two sisters voiced by one woman is lazy, but I think that choice added more to their heartless nature. While they sounded more giddy than threatening, the sisters were swift and skillfully dangerous. They act confident in their skills, believing they're going to get Kubo easily, but I also sensed a bit of sorrow in their voice, especially when they speak of Kubo's mother. There is no doubt that they loved her, but the image they had of who their sister used to be is who they're more fond of rather than who she wants to be. That is a more relatable characteristic given several family issues when it comes to ideologies constantly clashing. So yeah, not only are they intimidating characters, they're fantastically believable characters.
The main villain isn't in the movie that long, but man did they build him up. Raiden the Moon King is voiced by... Ye who shall not be named. Ralph Fiennes.
They seriously got Ralph Fiennes as the main villain, and he was amazing. His character took me by surprise when we finally do meet him, but he is as dangerous as Kubo was led to believe. So manipulative and cold, I definitely enjoyed the Moon King's character, especially when we get to the end. I am trying so hard, people. This is supposed to be spoiler-free. Spoiler-free!
The characters that lived in the village were awesome as well. I mean, typical reviews don't really point out minor characters who don't attribute too much to the plot, but there is nothing minor about these villagers. They're just so funny and memorable and so heartwarming. I just love the villagers. Especially you, Granny. I love you, Granny.
I love Kubo and cherish all the stories he tells them. Their influence really do play a huge role in Kubo's fate, which then leads to a very powerful moral to the story. But I have to say that each and every character in that village are surprisingly memorable in their own way. How did the writers do that?
But by far, my favorite character in the whole movie is Paper Hanzo.
Ever since he appeared, I loved everything about him. His design, his character, and the humor he brings with his subtle movements. So who voices his amazing character? No one. He's a silent character. More proof that you don't need a lot of dialogue to make a great character. Paper Hanzo had no voice, and yet he had so much character with every move he made. I loved him, and if there's a figurine of him, I need it. I want it. I need it.
As for the animation, Laika Studios went above and beyond. They outdid themselves. I'm still wrapping my head over how they're able to do everything they do with just stop motion animation. Just seriously, how do you keep doing it? How do you keep improving your skill?
Coraline was gorgeous while terrifying at the same time. Paranorman was ghoulish yet warm at certain points. The Box Trolls was the most conservative given the scenario, but it still gave us a mechanical splendor with the Box Troll Eradicator. Kubo was able to exceed all of our expectations given how well the other movies were animated. There's just so much creativity and imagination with Kubo's powers. Since he can play his shamisen to control paper and then some, his imagination was limitless, which gives the animators a bigger challenge to work with. How can you perfectly portray a young boy with a wild imagination and a power that still needs to be controlled? Well, they brilliantly animated that answer, and their efforts blew me away. It was just inspiring to watch what the studio could do and how they were able to do it.
To those who say this movie is just for children, fine, whatever, think what you want, you're too cool for animation, but if you're gonna show children one particular movie this year, show them Kubo.
I can't stress this enough. You can't subject children to dumb, half-assed entertainment just because it's been deemed as a children's film. Give them something that'll open their eyes and inspire them. Show them a world of endless imagination and heart. Allow them to see two extreme ideals clashing with each other when it can be somewhat solved by a boy trying to find that answer himself. Give these kids something to think about, something that'll make them grow and learn. I still want adults to watch this movie too. In a time where people are constantly clashing over who's right and wrong, perhaps this movie could actually teach them something.
I dare say this, I know the year is not over yet, but this could be the best movie of the year. It deserves all the awards, any award for animation, and heck, even the award for best movie of the year. Kubo deserves it. And it makes me sad to just look back at Coraline, Paranorman, and the Box Trolls and just realize how many awards were robbed from these masterpieces.
When it comes to the Oscars, Coraline sadly had to go up against a whole mess of fantastic movies, to which it ultimately lost to Up. It was a hard choice, but I think the Academy made the right choice. But from here on out, both Paranorman and Box Trolls were robbed. The 2013 Oscars had a few movies that deserved the Oscar, but the award tragically went to Brave. I'm sorry, but I felt that Paranorman and at least Wreck-It Ralph were 10 times better than that whiny little princess who thinks life's not fair. Then in 2015, the year of amazing animated films, I seriously felt the Box Trolls could have won the award, or at least humbly lose to Song of the Sea or How to Train Your Dragon 2. But nope, Disney was able to steal this Oscar too, giving the award to Big Hero 6.
I'm sorry, but a giant inflatable marshmallow robot can never top Ben Kingsley in drag. What?
This year, unfortunately, Kubo has to face up against Zootopia, Mona, Finding Dory, and Toy Story for Dogs. Don't deny it, it's true. I won't say much given how Mona hasn't been released yet, but of all the animated films I've seen, Kubo is the most deserving film by far, and if it's robbed of any awards by any inferior movies, then clearly, Hollywood doesn't care for perfectly animated films.
Overall, I highly, exceedingly recommend Kubo and the Two Strings. It is a gem among gems.
I cannot stress how much I love this movie. I laughed, I cried, and I held my heart for all the emotions I was experiencing while watching this movie. From the brilliant characters to the unbelievable animation, Kubo is a one-of-a-kind movie that everyone needs to see.
Pop Spectrum gives Kubo and the Two Strings 5 pops out of 5. 10 out of 10, turn it all the way up to 11. It is wonderful. This is Robyn from Pop Spectrum saying go watch Kubo, grab your movie tickets, treat your friends and family, go sit in the theater and watch that movie. I'm gonna go there soon and watch that movie again and again and again, because even if it is a bold statement, I am saying Kubo and the Two Strings is the best movie of the year so far. Thanks for watching!
Be sure to like, favorite, and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you for watching!
I don't know.